Hey, we getting ready to go live? We getting ready to go live? How's it going, everybody out there? What's happening?
Oh, Lord.
Hey.
Good to go.
All right, yeah, we about to have a good day. We about to have a good day. So, look, this is No Feelings, Just Facts. I am Clevonne. This is Tosha V, Mr. Ron, and we got a new guest up in the house, Mr. Will Henderson up in here with us.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Hey,
Good afternoon.
Yeah, so the topic today that we got going down today is why is it hard for people to come out the closet?
Oh, Lord.
And that dialogue right there is something that we don't normally have, so we're gonna have it today, just so y'all know. So why is it hard for people to come out the closet? All right, y'all gotta definitely text. Y'all gotta share this to somebody because everybody knows somebody that's in the closet.
Right.
Last week we was talking about the grandmama friend who looked strong. She looked real strong in the face, and she walking around built like me. And everybody in denial to the fact that she in love. You know, y'all know how it is. Well, she ain't got no man, but she got kids.
Yeah.
That the cover up.
Yeah.
So we all know how that actually goes.
Sitting there with a 9mm in her lap.
I kills. No, you gonna kill. So what we want to do is we want to bring that up. And for me personally, I feel like this is one of those touchy topics because a lot of people aren't able to be themselves when it comes to coming out of the closet, or just because we are raised within a standard of what's expected of us. And I personally feel like a lot of us worry about what other people got to think about us.
I think that's a big factor of it.
Yes, I feel like a lot of people have this standard on us where they're telling us that we should be worried about how they feel about us in our personal life with that. And that's something I'm definitely not cool with. I really can't flow with that because of the fact that a lot of people are really held back on that.
Well, okay, you got to understand this too, Clevonne.
All right, go for it.
We dealing with old school people also. So, you know, when they say, some of them didn't even know they were, gay or whatever until like now maybe, because now it's more outwardly. Back then, you had to hide your feelings because you didn't want your mom upset or the family. Your family was your principal back then. But now, since we're so self-sufficient, I believe what you're saying, we should be more outwardly, or, a person should be more outwardly on their character.
Yeah. I totally feel like that.
You still have to have that filtering moment. You still have to have that revelation moment. It's like, oh, my God, I am gay. I'm going to tell my whole parents that I am gay.
I don't think you have to wait until you're like 50, 60, 70. If you're gay, you know you're gay.
Yeah, you know you're gay, but you just can't tell everybody like that.
But you said I don't think a lot of the older generation realized until they were older. That's
Pretty much.
I think they just didn't want to say too much.
They just didn't want to say too much.
And that's what it is. I think with how society is today, I do think people are more comfortable. I think people are comfortable in their sexuality, their skin. I think people are coming into their own, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. That does make sense.
Kind of like you were mentioning, I think it's just quite a few different factors, whether it was a church factor, whether it's you're worried about what people are going to say about you. For instance, with me being brought up in church, I felt the need, as far as someone who being gay, I felt the need to not really say too much of anything.
Right.
My grandma was a mother of the church.
Yeah.
But the thing is, she loved me, and her love surpassed everything else, if that makes sense. Now, we definitely had that conversation.
That's dope.
But the thing is, and truth be told, at the age of 18, telling my business a little bit, she allowed my boyfriend to actually live with us. But I think the reason for that is she knew her grandson was at home. Okay. She knew he was in the house. So she didn't have to worry about, how a lot of parents, you don't know what your kids are doing. You don't know, what they're doing when you're out. I was at home. I was at home with my boyfriend.
You triggered something on that. You remember back in the day, Channel 5 News had 10 o'clock. Parents, do you know where your children are?
I definitely remember that.
When you said that. So when you said that, I was like, okay, she like that. She like that.
Because she knew I was at home. And the thing is, like I mentioned, being brought up in church, and then we're Church of God in Christ. So for us, it was like a lot of things. You couldn't wear shorts. You couldn't wear earrings as a man. Like, it was just certain things. Like, women had to wear dresses. So I think we're evolving. But going back to society, like, for instance, it's so easy for a man and a woman to just hold hands with each other walking down the street. And then for us, it's like someone may look at you crazy, may try to fight you, may try to just do anything
there. It's something still there.
Yeah, and it's not that you necessarily are scared, but for me, I already don't like a lot of attention. So for me, now you're looking at me. Like, I remember back in the day at church, I wouldn't lift my hands. I didn't want to use the bathroom.
And you know what's so crazy about that? You know what's so crazy about that is, and let's go to the church aspect. This is not a bashing moment for people out there, because people try to switch it up, talking about you bashing the church. Well, you ugly. So the truth is, it's always somebody ugly want to come at you with some ignorance. In the church, we do have a standard where there's expectation. There's respectable expectations upon us.
Correct.
But it's like the rules are able to bend with the wrong people sometimes.
Yeah.
It's like if you're kin to this person, you get a pass. If you're able to be around that person, you know, they're not going to say nothing to you. But when they come to you, it's like, oh, he going to hell. And I just want you to know that. And then they're going to send you up there for prayer too. Because they was sending me up there for my sex addiction. I was getting prayer all the time. They was putting my head down. You know, it's always somebody with bad breath trying to pray for you. That's even worse. But it does make it hard for a person to even verbalize how they feel, where they stand at, because these expectations are upon them from a lot of people who are interested in them as well.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people who are really interested. This is what I learned, and I was raised, and I much respect, because I was raised around relatives who do have the attributes, have the characteristics, have the relationships, and they're open with it. And a lot of things that they taught me, because I used to get teased, right? I used to get teased because they say, oh, you a punk. You a sissy. You hung with them. They'll call me that stuff because that's my family. That's my uncle. That's my... and I'm like, dude, what's going on? So this is what they told me. They say when they tell you that, it's because that's what they interested in. And if you fight them, that means you interested too. And I'm like, what? Because I'm for the kick ass and take names later.
You think so, man?
Hey, look, it was key words.
Truth, man? Come on, Mr.
There were
Henderson.
key words.
Do you think that's the truth?
No, listen to me. Listen to me. Listen. There were actual key words that they were telling me about that, and I had to learn how to shift my frustration to their ignorance. That's what I'm saying. Because I was taught, don't judge people. That's how I was raised, don't judge people. But a lot of those people would tell me that and call me that, and I'm like, that really did hurt my feelings. And as I grew older, I'm like, oh, I see why you calling me that. All right, whatever. And to this day, I don't judge. I have relatives and I do not judge nobody for that. I much respect to people who are able to be themselves. And that's what my encouragement has always been. But you can't always be like that around other people. Everybody ain't going to receive you like that.
Yeah.
Right.
That is the number one thing I learned. Everybody ain't going to receive you like that.
So that's why it's hard for them to come out.
Yeah.
Depending on the circle, though. Because like he said his grandmother opened the door for him to just be himself.
Right.
Well, and my dad, too, to be honest with you. My dad.
Are you serious?
Hold on. My dad
was
dope. My dad was like a man's man. Like, my dad was just like a ladies' man and everything.
Okay, right.
So I remember, I don't know, maybe like 14, 16, my dad, he lived across the street from us. So he was like, yeah, I got this girl over here, do you want, to hook up with her, for better lack of words? And it wasn't sex, it was the other thing. He was like, and I'm like, no, I'm good, I'm okay. But it was those things when I even realized it. But my thing, it goes back to, he is comfortable with it. He knows about me. But if y'all know my dad, he was hard on us. He was strict. So I'm surprised that he was open to it. But
see, but he loved you. He loves you more than other people's judgment.
Yeah.
And that's how I personally feel like with my own children. If my children were to come to me and say, Dad, this is what I'm interested in, I would give them the same stipulations if they were in a heterosexual relationship.
Yeah.
And my stipulation is this: unless it's serious, but don't bring no ignorance to my house. Period. Because of the fact that there are some crazy ignorant people.
Yeah.
You don't have to be just with a man and woman and a dude tripping or the woman.
Well, I will be checking out the sides. I don't want my son with a big buff guy.
Well, it's a tough pill to swallow. I think it is.
I would have to definitely check out. Okay, bro. Okay, you sure?
So you trying to make sure like he ain't like going deep on your son? Like what the fuck?
Hell to the yeah.
Well, remember everybody like they own everybody
like they own
like things. So you
got
to think about what if your son
let him know
like that? What
let
if he
him know?
likes that?
Let him know.
Because if you think about some people like some who girly, some like big like buff men. You know, it just depends on what you like.
If my son's small like me, and I'm like, okay,
wait,
sure?
Wait, I thought you was talking about meat size. I didn't know you was talking about skinny.
No.
I thought he said my son better not be getting the deep meat. I was like, wait, what? Wait.
All in that conversation, buddy. All of that.
Hey, bro, no, because he said my son better.
But he was saying on the beginning, he said, your son or daughter may like those type of truck driver looking women.
Not truck drivers. But to me, just like in a straight relationship, you like what you like. There are some people who frowned on bigger guys or chubby guys.
Yeah.
And then you have, for the 1 minute, you have a lot of people who like light-skinned guys, you know. So I think you like whatever you like. Like, I remember I battled with that for a while to where, liking just certain things in particular, I was just like, no, I ain't going to be able to do that.
But do you feel like a lot of that standard came from the church's opinions and expectations as well?
Yes and no, because what I'm talking about in particular, I'm like, you like what you like, no matter what it is, whether you straight or gay. Like, just like with you
Your
guys,
preference.
you like, you might like somebody tall, you might like somebody short. I do think in the church, and once again, brought up in the church, I love me some God. I know some people like, well, how do you believe in God and blah, 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 or what if you going to hell and blah, blah, blah. I do believe, for me, I praise and worship God for what he is and his grace and mercy and what he's done for me. I do believe, in spite of what anybody else may think, he continues to bless me. So for me, I feel a little different. I feel like, okay, when it's time to see him, if anything, okay, you was having sex and you wasn't married.
Yeah.
And something like that.
And that's another one of my issues. And that's what I have an issue with. Let me go here with this as well, is that there's a lot of gifted people.
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of gifted people in this world. Real talk.
When people bring up the church, I'm always go to the Bible.
Right.
If you really want to go to the Bible,
come on, evangelist. Come on, evangelist.
King David was bisexual. He was in love with Jonathan.
I concur.
He was in love with Jonathan. So
yes, he was.
He said he loved Jonathan like more than he could love a woman.
Yeah.
So,
but I also think some people, you pick and choose certain scriptures or certain things in the Bible. Because, I know that scripture, like a man shouldn't lie with another man and things of that nature.
We can go deeper on that.
Yeah, no, and I agree.
Because it was changed.
But I also think that there are people out there in the world, you focus on this sin or this scripture, but what about and for me,
but
the
they
reality,
be eating the pig feet and stuff when they say don't eat the swine.
And that's the reality of it is we do all of us do a lot of things that we shouldn't do. So you focus on what you do.
After the show, Will, I'm gonna show you where the Roman Catholic Church actually changed it, because it said a man should not lay down with a young boy, and of course it was changed by the Catholics. Why?
So let me actually. So let's go back to this question.
We're not gonna skip past that. Don't do me.
No, I ain't doing you. This is called no feelings, just facts. Get out your feelings. So what I'm trying to actually say right now is the question is, why is it hard for people to come out the closet though? Why is that? Why is that?
Because I'm sitting right here next to a guy. I'm feeling him.
I think a lot of it has to do with the stigma we bring kids up with.
Yeah.
Because when you hear when you're growing up and you hear that, especially in our communities where first it was AIDS. If you gay, you're gonna get AIDS.
Oh yeah.
If you're gay, you're going to hell. So you're a little kid growing up hearing this. So it's already a stigma.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because of a lifestyle. Of course, you're not going to want to say, I'm interested in the same sex.
Yeah.
Because you already feel judged before you even open your mouth, because what you're hearing flowing around in your community.
And I don't want to bash anybody, because trust and believe, I love me some black people.
That's right.
But the thing is, I feel like us, unfortunately, sometimes we don't want to do our homework. So sometimes we just, whatever this is what it is. Whatever we believe is whatever we believe. And I think we're not open-minded. We have, everybody is against us at times. Everybody is hating on us. And I'm not saying us everybody. You know, I'm just saying we sometimes, you know, we might be smart intellectually as far as like with book smart and things in that nature, or schooling, going to college or whatever. But when it comes to other things, we'll use this as an example. Like, you have people who are like, you think gay is just the worst thing in the world. Yeah. Like, but what about when you sloppy drunk? What about when you doing them hardcore drugs? You know, what about all this other stuff? Shouldn't y'all be focused on something? Like, focus on your business, or focus on what you're doing. If you're sleeping with a married man, like, I have a friend who, and I'm not being funny, there's a lot of people, you know, who, and what I have is that 2 people that I know who sleeps with, they're like considered cross-dressers or transsexuals, and they mess with allegedly straight men or men who are not comfortable coming out of the closet.
It's called the Downlow, right?
Right. But a lot of them is already interested.
Yeah, but the thing about it is what I'm saying, they won't publicly come out. They won't publicly say this.
So
they won't say
do you feel like
that.
It's because of the standard, though, of expectations?
Of them as an individual.
Can I say this? Because here's one of the issues that always bothers me, is that a lot of people attack the men, but they'll never bring up the women.
Yeah.
Because it's more acceptable.
Of course.
No. See, and then this is the truth. This is the truth. When you got that homegirl that want to walk around and play with your breasts, want to always rub on your booty all the time.
We don't do that.
No.
Oh,
He said last week. He said last week you got the traits.
Yeah.
You ain't taking it.
Oh Lord, see, he tried to
he ain't even show
fight. He instigated the fight.
No. Look, no feelings, just facts, my brother. So the truth is, a lot of women that do that, that's their interest. I'm just being straightforward, but we give it a pass, and then they are so quick to say that a man.
You have to look at what. First off, women are already over sexualized. Period. Yeah. So when you get a man, most men have a fantasy of him and 2 women, or watching a woman on woman. You know what I'm saying? You'll never hear a woman say,
"So that's why a woman does what a woman does to a woman to make us tantalize."
Help me out with that one.
Yes, a lot of young-minded women, especially at the club, when you see them dancing on each other or whatever, it's for to get attention from men.
But that ain't okay. So let me say
this
because
fair to the man.
Can I say this?
They want to do that. That's not fair.
Can I say this?
Because we can accept the woman doing that and not accept the man. We'd be in hypocrites.
But
that's the whole point.
So what does it look like? What does it look like? Because a woman walk up and play with another woman's breast. Well, I look like come up, tickle his nuts, and be like, bro, how that feel?
But
that's your standard. I wouldn't do it.
I ain't fit to play with your nuts.
I know.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Let me get back to the when I said stigma, it's a real thing, because even say for instance sexually, right? You being straight, your G-spot is in your ass.
Right?
Somebody
told
me that.
People don't know that.
Tell me that.
A lot of men do not know that.
But no, hear me out.
That's true.
Y'all trying to.
Can I finish my thought?
That's never happened to me, but I heard about it.
Can I finish my thought?
Go ahead.
Okay, so no, because it's a stigma of like you. So you're with a woman, right?
Okay.
She a freak. She trying to see what level she can take you to.
Oh Lord.
And then she goes there, try to go there. And next thing you know, what the fuck you doing or whatever. But it's not gay. That's a woman doing it to you. But the stigma around him. And am I wrong?
No, you're right.
Because
you're right. So y'all got to really bring light onto this, because I'll say like it's just a discomfort of a lot of stuff. Like somebody posted this a while back to say a lot of men like getting a booty licked. You know they had this called.
I tell y'all, a lot of them do. I tell you, a lot of them do. I promise you.
I don't.
You had it done?
No, my booty tickle.
I've only seen it on porn.
I'm telling y'all, a lot of men love that. Even for you to be quote unquote straight.
It's a lot of discomfort. For me, a lot of stuff is just discomfort, and that's what I'm saying. Like I'm comfortable.
Oh, you got a bad back? Your back hurt?
Hell no. Hell no. Let me tell you something. The heaviest woman I pick up is about 350. And she better be able to handle it when I do it. But that's another story.
That's a finger.
So
that's my finger.
For me personally, though, I'm comfortable within myself. It's just not comfortable. That's it. But I don't judge nobody for that's their preference.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. Like when you bring up stuff like this topic here, And people be like, "Oh, that's gay." No, it's not. That's their preference.
But why? And I never understood that when someone says it's gay, like gay is the bad thing. You get what I'm saying?
It's like, because there's a closed-mindedness. There's a closed-mindedness when it comes to that. But then a lot of our other issues is the fact that a lot of people, once again, struggle with coming out to be themselves. This is what they really like.
So this is
what
how
they really
we lead
want.
into men who are with women but desire to be with a man, so they go the DL route. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because,
no, and that's the reality of it. No, and that's really so. You as women will not, and I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm just saying you guys as women will knock the man for knowing that he's gay or he's been with a male or whatever. You're like, oh, I don't want no parts. I don't want to be a part of it. But so they're not going to be comfortable versus a man. If you find out your girl was
with another
gay
woman,
or messed with another one, you're not tripping. But the women,
yeah,
it's like you frown on that. And I'm not. Like I said, it is what it is. Don't get me wrong. But I'm just like, if you're supposed to be straight as a male, to come to your woman saying, "Oh, I think let's do a threesome with a guy, 2 guys," she might be like, "Are you crazy? Are you tripping?"
Right. But he being straight.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. But the thing
is that mental adultery stuff.
They don't want to. But they don't feel comfortable because of you hearing stuff growing up. You know, maybe your woman, your girl may say something or whatever. So how would a straight man, a man who's having thoughts or whatever,
man,
right?
Yeah.
What makes him want to come out? All the stuff that he's been hearing, all these like even men who are in their 30s or 40s who mess with men secretly, but we frown on them, but they're doing it secretly because they feel like they can't come out. A lot
of those pastors was doing that too. That's I ain't gonna name drop, but a lot of them would be doing it.
Right. But then it's like, like he made a point when you meet a man and say if he's openly about, hey, I'm bisexual.
Yeah.
It is damn near impossible for him to find a woman that would be accepting of that.
No, and that's true.
And
so wait, now bring this in real quick. See, now this is what ties into what makes it hard for people to come out the closet. What makes it hard for a woman to accept that man when it's easy for him to accept her? Please break that down to me. What, she feel like she in competition? She feel like she can't compete?
What's the reality? I think it's
she don't have the aggression and strength?
No, I think it's immaturity, because honestly, just because a person is bisexual doesn't mean they're going to cheat on you.
Yeah.
Right? Because you can be with a man that's straight and he's going to cheat on you.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So I think it's more of a, well, if he does cheat with a man, it's because that's something I can't do. You know what I'm saying? That's something I can't provide him.
You saying the woman feel like she can't cheat?
I don't have a dick.
I can't take it.
But the man desires a dick.
So
being with a wife.
If that's a desire you have, that's something I can't fulfill. You know, you hear women all the time say, just tell me what you like.
Right.
And we can try it. We can do it. But if you like dick, I can't.
But let me tell you this. I have some friends. I got quite a few female friends.
Right.
I have one female friend. She wants to peg a guy. Like, she really wants to do that.
She say peg? What's peg?
That's when you put on the strap on and you give it to your dude.
I had a chick try to do that.
Oh, Lord Jesus. Like I said, I only seen it
man. Let me tell y'all that.
They hear it like this in real talk.
Girl tried to come at me left with it. I'm like, baby, what are you doing? She's like,
wait, did she just bust out the bathroom with it?
No. She was like, I want to do something different with you. And I'm like, what
is
it?
On, Clevonne?
No, she wanted to, and I'm like, I didn't know whether to break her jaw or what. Like, it's just like, I told her, like, that's just not. I don't go into the aggressive approach of, I just say, like, I'm just not interested. That's not. No. And she tried to push the envelope, like, well, you must be, and I'm like, baby, I don't fight women and children, but it's just me and you in this house.
Yeah.
And your jaw may end up dislocated if you keep coming at me.
But did you feel like disrespected because she asked you about it?
I felt disrespected. I
don't think I would have been.
No.
You should feel comfortable to come to you.
It's not because she came to me. It's because she tried to call me a punk for not wanting to do it.
Okay.
That's why I'm like.
Them words came out her mouth.
Yes.
And she had
that's what he heard. No, she didn't have no strap on.
No, he really wants somebody to walk out the bathroom with this on. So check this out.
Gonna say...
We want people to call in too. We definitely want people to call in. So check this out. For our call in, we want people to log in. 702 call in 702-608-3259. We want some of y'all to weigh in on this right here. Why is it hard
for women,
for people to come out the closet? You say for women?
I want to know, because we touching on this. Why is it because he's right. If a man comes out and say, I'm bisexual, it's damn near impossible to find a woman that's going to be okay with it.
I really do think that.
See, that's pretty
why you have a lot of brothers in that's DL.
But you understand, that's a jacked up standard. And I'm going to speak up on the behalf, because here's one of the issues we run into, and this coincides. We run into the issue where it's okay for women to degrade men, put them down, right? We have that thing going on where it's really a battle, because it's something that happened for a long time. But then it's a big issue for a lot of women to accept a lot of men for where they are in life. Yeah. Especially, this is the issue what women always do. Come be honest with me. Be real. Really? Really? So now he come tell you the truth, and you get in your feelings. Well, shut up if you don't want to know the truth.
Yeah.
That's why I hate people like that. That's why a lot of people lie all the time too.
True.
Why they don't never come out and tell the truth, because you get in your emotions too fast. Mm-hmm. And if you can contain your emotions, do not ask for something that you're too immature to handle.
True.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you're not in a relationship. A lot of people do that.
But then the emphasis also is sex. You know what I mean? Like, if I'm with a man and we're connected in every way, and he comes and tell me he's bisexual, my first mind is leading to sex. But it's so many different avenues
that is true.
In a relationship. So just because he desires something sexually that I can't provide, is that a deal breaker?
Well, my thing is, you guys as women, you can like in a sense, you can like a woman 1 month and like a man the following month.
Right.
So it's almost the same as a man. Like, I had a friend who literally was in love with a girl. He really was in love with this woman. And once he told her, because he felt like, I have to tell her. Mm-hmm. And like, she stopped talking to him.
Whoa.
And it goes back to like what you guys are saying, that you feel that you have to lie, or you feel like you can't share because they're not saying anything. Mm-hmm. And because they feel like they can't say something. But once they say something, it's like, you don't want to be with me no more.
Exactly. And that's one of our biggest issues right there, is that people can't handle the truth.
But because Will, earlier you touched upon the brothers that are DL catch hell from the gay community as well. Yeah. So
wait. I missed that part. You said
okay, but we're finna bring it back. You don't have to jump in. So what I was saying
no feelings now. Ladies and gentlemen, this is no feelings, just facts. We got to work with Tasha on that.
So where do they fit in then? Because they feel like they don't belong here.
True.
And then the gay community is like, well, you're not being your authentic self. You're not being real.
Yeah.
So it's like, but you see what I'm saying? Where it's
that's deep. That's deep.
Dylan, okay. It's like you guys said, it's a world. They have their own society, their own world. So the DLs.
The DLs?
Yeah. They have their own, like,
there's no alphabet in the LB that covers DL.
It's called
DL,
the Downlow, DL.
So what are you talking about?
I thought she was saying why he's keeping away from his wife and why he dealing with this dude.
No, but what do you mean by own world?
They just know who is desirable and who isn't, and who knows to shut their mouth up and who to talk to.
Oh, true. Okay.
Yeah.
That's why it's called the DL, the down low. It's their own little thing, basically. Okay. And, and I think Atlanta started it, but yeah. If you know your place, if you're gay, if you like to do that, you'll find a guy that is equal to you, and nothing would be said or nothing.
So here's one of the other things that always transpires. A lot of times the women already know too. While we talking about the situation, a lot of times a lot of the women know already.
You think?
A lot of times the women do know. A lot of times the women
isn't it a part of that little spirit thing y'all was talking about? Yeah. When somebody knows
you're talking about soul ties.
There you go. Soul ties.
A lot of people play dumb to stuff to not be honest and admitting. It's like for instance, a person know that when their spouse cheating on them, they know it, and they like, over there at Smith's, yeah, and they know it. So what makes this knowing any different? For the record, what makes it any different? Because they know, they sense the habits, they sense the dialogue. What makes it? Because they don't want to admit it, and it goes back to the criticism that a lot of people will get when they are able to be open. with certain dialogue, the criticism, like we started off with the church, right? Then we go into the community. A lot of times, a lot of our communities will not accept reality. Remember when we were growing up, everybody would tease the one kid, one particular kid,
right?
And then they always had the one girl that would come outside and play football in her sports bra, and she was built like me. And everybody knew what was up, but then everybody had that grandmama who had a friend who had a strong face.
Yeah.
So people know what's up in the community, but then people are playing dumb to a certain. They want to accept what they want to accept when they feel like it.
True. But then within that family, like we had spoken again before, it's those people that we have to let go within the family. We treat people a certain way because they perceive us in a certain way. Yep. But if you my girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever, you know what we do.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying? So you can separate, but it's gonna be like church and state. You have to separate lifestyles when it comes to that.
So would you be comfortable with your wife telling you that she was into
I just don't want her to tell me. I don't care.
See, so that falls into the category right there. See, that category.
Right.
Yeah, but I'm just being real. I mean, she can have fun. I mean, really, but don't disturb the house. Don't disturb the house.
What's defined as fun?
I don't know. Don't tell me.
So if your wife got a whole girlfriend outside,
I do not want to know. She can have fun. She's there when I need her.
See how you keep titling it fun?
Yeah.
Fun. She can have fun.
No, y'all said she can do whatever she wants.
I'm not cool with sharing in any capacity. That's just me. I'm just not cool with sharing.
Out of mind with me, buddy.
Sharing. I don't want to share.
If you're dating, would you be comfortable with a bisexual male?
To ask me again, because I gotta want to read something. My friend just said something, and I want to. Tasha, she said something, and we gotta read that.
Go ahead, read it.
So my friend said this is something that we touched on just a moment ago. She said, like Latasha said, it could be an insecurity thing as well too.
Okay.
Like, dang, I already have to compete with other women, and she said now I have to compete with men too.
Okay.
So in other words, I guess like what you were saying earlier, like I have to compete with already that. You might cheat on me with a woman. Right. Now I got to worry about you might cheat with a man too.
With dude.
So, and I get that, but
it's just weird. That makes it way more complicated. It makes it way more complicated. But my question once again is, why is it hard? What makes it hard for a lot of people to own up to who they are?
And like I was saying earlier, I think, and as we continue to have this dialogue, I think it goes back to there's several things, whether you being judged, whether it's the insecurity, whether you worried about, are you going to cheat with me with a man and a woman? Like even in the gay world, you have what we call like the top, the bottom, the verse. We have,
Wait,
like,
I know about the top. What's the verse?
Verses you could do either or.
Oh, okay.
And for me,
that's you can be top or bottom
conversation. But I'm like,
you can be on the receiving end. Or to get
I got.
And are you taking both the verse? It's like the universe.
Go ahead, Will.
I ain't gonna tell y'all.
It don't bother me, y'all. Y'all trying to do me. It don't bother me. I'm just lost.
Cool.
Let me hit y'all with some terminology. You know what I'm saying? You get your head knocked off. You know.
And see, my thing, even in the gay world, we have I have a preference. And for me, I'm like, I feel like what you were saying. So my thing is, this is what I like. So I feel if I mess around and I'm with a guy, if you say, for instance, you're verse and I'm not. So my thing is, I got to worry about you liking both when I only like one thing, which means I want us to do it this way, but yet you like both.
Right.
So it's crazy. Almost the same thing, but I think, once again, it's just
it's almost like being a racist.
Yes.
That's a
in
good point.
Sense,
that's a very good point.
It's almost like being a racist. It's something I just don't like, and I'm not going to do that. That's just not me.
I've seen like a lot of the women who had to really struggle, like the ones who have more of the more male presence.
Yeah.
When they get a lot of slack, they would catch a lot of slack a lot of times because they're just kind of coming out being themselves. They catch a lot of slack.
Yeah.
Kind of comparison to most men who are flamboyant, right? So they're out there. But the thing is that each community has somebody that's interested in them.
Yeah.
This woman has a beautiful girl who's interested in her. This dude has a strong dude who can carry a refrigerator on his back, interested in him. Like them smokers used to steal the refrigerators in the neighborhood. They have somebody that's interested in them, but sometimes the people that's interested in them are worried about what other people have to say.
Correct.
And I feel like that's a thing where we all have grown up to be worried about what people think about us, period.
But I think as a society, that's how it is. I've messed with guys who do think that way. They're worried about what the next person is going to say, whether you have a position in the corporate world, whether it's a position in the church, whether it's just those type of different things. I have a pastor friend who is a dear friend of mine. Like, we are tight. Like, and he's one of those who will drop knowledge on me. When I tell you he's very, and it's not just church. It's not like, he's just like really smart. Like, he'll tell me, why are you worried about this? Why are you, and this is a pastor, like, why are you worried about this person or what the next person is saying about you?
Question.
Like, it's like, do what you doing or do you, and continue to excel and grow in it. So he even told me, I forgot, I think I was talking about an event or something. He was like, you don't have a position or a title in the church per se, so why does it matter?
But even if you did have a position or title in the church, here's my issue with this. You are gifted to do what you naturally do.
I agree.
And you have the ability to draw people regardless of what people have to say. So whether it's on that platform or this platform over here, we just have to choose which platform we're going to choose. The one that's boxing us in or the one that wants to accept us for who we are.
Pick and choose your battle.
Exactly, because a lot of times we get so caught up in the platform of where we've been. I was raised up in here, and we really worried about what people think about it, because I know I did that. Yeah. For many years, I was like so cringe. Earlier this year, right? I think right after my mom passed, right after we did my mom's funeral, my sister and her wife throw a party, right? They throw a party. Stop laughing. So check this out now, y'all. Check. I'm in church. I'm still in church. So they throw a party, but my sister them know how I am. Like, I'm not staying to the end of the party. It's time to go. I got blocked in, so I couldn't leave. So they like, you gonna stay here and enjoy this damn party. Man, so I drank with them, I hung out, I fell asleep outside in low below 5-degree weather.
Oh Lord.
Came back in, danced with the strippers. A lot of the church folks hit me up.
Cause it was posted on Facebook.
Hey dog, and I'm talking about like I was doing what I used to do in the past, my little dance too. And I was so here's the reality. I was so embarrassed. I was so embarrassed based upon what everybody was going to say and who's going to see this, and I can't offend it, and I'm in this position. And this is their exact words, man, fuck that. That's what they'll tell me. And I'm like, dude, like I gotta uphold it. It's like, just be yourself.
Right.
Let your guard down for a minute to enjoy being yourself. It ain't like you was doing nothing wrong. You was just enjoying the day. And so we give a pass to who's allowed to enjoy the day or not. And now my mindset, since I've stepped away from that criticism and all that, I can think a little clearer to say, who gives a damn? But it takes a long time. It takes a while to develop that mindset to let go of what people have to say about you. I'm being honest.
Right.
No, you are telling the truth. Unfortunately, and I tell some of my dear friends this, like, at the age of me being 42, like, I am still worried about what people have to say and what people have to say about me. And that is so unfortunate. And I really try to get past that, because I do worry about that type of stuff.
Well, if you need a lesson, I'm right here. If you need a lesson.
And why am I worried about that at my age? I am starting to be more comfortable with certain things.
Because you're very careful of your image. You're very careful.
But we're taught about the image. See, we're not presidents of the United States.
No, but we still
are Clevonne, Tosha, Will, and Ron, and we're parents. We're community. We're community activists. We're philanthropists. Whatever we are, but we are on this scale with people down here, and I say, down here.
Okay, go
down
ahead.
here. A lot of times we ain't up here. We down here, and we playing with people that's down here.
Right.
That's going to stay down here.
Yeah.
And they not trying to help us think up here. A lot of times, a lot of people are not trying to push us to go up here either. So by them putting this weight,
that's the crab in the bucket.
Yeah, syndrome. It is. But once again, though, by them putting the weight on us, what we do is we're gifted to be up here, and we keep coming down here to make them happy. And because our community or whatever else we've been raised around has put this judgment stigma on a lot of us, we cannot be ourselves.
It's also a level of, you don't want to make anyone feel uncomfortable with who you are.
Yeah,
that too.
And I was that way. When I tell you, like, I don't want you to, I don't want you to be uncomfortable. I don't want you
around
to be like, yuck, or
mm-hmm.
whatever, you know. So I do try to be mindful of that kind of stuff. And maybe if I was like a woman, I probably wouldn't do that as well. I don't know. But I'm like, I do worry about that.
I watched a lot of women go attack a lot of homosexual men. Mm-hmm. And they will want to fight the man to keep their man. I ain't gonna name drop, but I watched it happen.
What?
And it was so crazy that she hate this dude. Now, validate me. Y'all got to back me up on this. Validate me. A lot of women, go back to what I said earlier, will know the truth. And she trying to fight the dude over here on the low and over her man.
I don't know anyone.
And she
I
know a couple of them.
I don't know anyone.
I know a couple of them because like I told y'all
earlier.
First off,
at the end of the day, that's still a man.
No. Yeah, exactly.
Well,
but what I'm saying is,
they should have kept it among themselves as it was before something leaked out. That sounds like something leaked out.
But a lot of times, you have a lot of women that they got the ignorance, and so she trying to go fight the dude. She hate the dude. I'm telling y'all, this happens. She hate the dude guts and would not say nothing. And he come around hanging around the I'm talking about
so dude, he was just a homie. He was just a homie.
Her dude is a stone cold killer. He would blow your head off. He a stone cold killer over here in love with Rodney. And he can't be
Rodney was just a friend.
Oh, he was a good friend. And Rodney was obviously doing something that she didn't do. Rodney can cook better. I'm talking about Rodney was cooking. And I was like, this is deep. Seriously, a lot of the time he laughing because he know I'm telling the truth. I've seen this happen in the community, and I'm talking about with family ties and stuff.
So the lady got mad at her husband or the dude,
She got married at the dude, not her husband.
Because Rodney knew how to cook.
No, she got married at the dude, Rodney, but she wasn't married at her husband.
Wasn't mad at her.
She hated the dude
because he was doing too much in her house.
Yeah, when she was at work. Yes.
The anger that she should have had for her husband.
Yes, exactly.
It went towards the other end.
Exactly.
But
it doesn't matter.
That happened in general.
Yeah, that could be another way.
Exactly. So
that could have been like a good friend or something.
That goes back to what I said earlier. A lot of times people do know what's going on, period.
So you said maybe they don't want to come to their husband or their boyfriend, but yeah, it's like you see all this, but you don't like the dude or the gay guy or whatever. You just like, I'm just not gonna say nothing.
Maybe.
You probably scared or probably don't want to bring it to your husband's attention.
I had a chick that I was dealing with who was into other women.
You enjoyed it?
I had to build her a curb and kick her to it. Like I told you earlier, I don't share, my brother. I don't share.
You don't share.
It's not my thing. I'm okay with that. Seriously, that's not my preference. But that's something she said she was exploring. She was exploring
with you.
No, I wasn't with the girl. She was just like, that's her friend. I walk in, she's sitting on her lap.
So she was still scared to bring it out to you?
No, she said that she was her friend. Listen to me. Old girl that she was messing with worked at Ruby Tuesdays.
Oh, God.
She was cheating on me with the chick that was working at Ruby Tuesdays.
Okay, so I want to go back to my question to Will because he never answered.
Oh, my God.
Because he deflected to his homegirl's comment. So, Will, would you be comfortable
I'm listening.
Okay.
with your man being bisexual?
If I was to be honest, I dated someone who was bisexual. That was I had an issue with it at first. But I mean, that's just like almost anything else. I just get past it. Mm-hmm. I was like what we kind of touched on. I was worried about like what I told you my friend said. Mm-hmm. Like, so what if you feel like you want a woman? Mm-hmm. I mean, clearly those are two different things that you know. So I'm like, well, what if he want to go, but when I was with him, no, he solely wanted me.
Yeah. Okay.
So
now was you cooking better than the woman? I'm lost. I
hate to say it, but I don't really. No, because I'm not gonna say what y'all think I was gonna say. No, I do have to admit, like I don't really cook like that or nothing. So that definitely wasn't it.
He was cooking in a different area.
But I'm feeling.
He was doing versus battle.
This is some weird stuff. This is some weird stuff right here. What I'm hearing. If a man does that, which he did, he was bisexual.
Yeah.
He had you and he had a woman.
No, he liked both.
Yeah, he liked both. He had him and he had a
He
woman.
didn't have
You don't
a
mean
woman.
at the same time,
No,
right? That's not what you're saying, right?
At the same time.
No,
I
no.
never said anything.
That's where you get that from,
I
Ron.
didn't never say nothing like that.
Because he liked both. I'm just.
But that doesn't mean you still having them at the same time. I mean, because I will say he had a woman before
you,
before me.
But when he was with you, he always wanted to be with you.
Yeah.
He wasn't even talking about the other. He wasn't even talking about the others and all that. It was always about, and that was see right there.
Okay.
That's how they develop their own lifestyle, because they know how to separate church from state.
Some people like what you like. So if you are in that moment, and that's what I was telling you about my friend who was solely liking on this girl, and that's all he wanted. And then he told her she couldn't do it. Like, there are some people, just like a lot of women, gay women. If you are with a woman, that's all you want. You don't want nothing else. You don't see anything else. And then there are some people, if you like women, you may like both, or you might dib and dabble. And even though you got a girlfriend, you might want
to mess around and stuff.
And that's for a while I was uncomfortable with it, and I wasn't big on it. So I'm glad I haven't been faced with that situation now with liking a guy and or really wanting to be with a guy, and he liked both.
So in a way, it's not like they're scared to come out. They don't want to come out because they are very secured in themselves. But if they come out, somebody might fuck it up.
Well, I think we're also touching on a different topic. I do believe, going back to our original question, I do think a lot of guys are not comfortable with coming out because going back to, like church, we said earlier, the church, like the judgment, what someone is going to say. I will even say I have messed with allegedly straight guys or bisexual guys or whatever. I have a friend who dressed in what we call drag or a cross-dresser or a transsexual, where men was in love with that. But the thing is that it was still, in their eyes, a woman presence. Still, the makeup, the wig, the soft
So wait,
touch.
let me ask you, what makes it different? And only because I don't understand it.
Yeah.
What makes it so different? Because at the end, it's still a guy. So what makes that experience so different?
Well, I heard one guy mention that because they have the same part that he has down there, but everything else is still like a woman.
Did he get the implants or what? I'm lost.
No, it's really a man. He just dressed up as a woman.
Right.
So we all know men are visual creatures.
Yes.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yes. So
okay.
when you touch, like when you did, and there are some women who what we call transsexuals or whatever, to where they actually still have breasts. Once again, visual. You have your real hair or a wig and you got makeup on. You see this as a woman.
Show did.
That's what you
see. Did in Thailand.
Oh, Jesus.
And then
yes.
And a lot of times, depending on your facial feature, if you have the soft skin, if you have, every man don't have big burly and hard features. So you put on makeup, you can come across as a woman.
I mean, but you see, in Thailand, because I'm a physical person, I like to look at stuff. That's how I almost got caught up. But this girl was beautiful. I think we called them shims.
In Thailand?
Yeah.
What year was this, Ron?
Our Benny boys.
What year was this?
This was 89, 88, 89.
So you was over in Thailand living your best life.
Living my best life.
So let's kind of bring it to this. Y'all crazy. So concluding where we are, a lot of people struggle with being able to come out of the closet. Women and men coming out of the closet is predominantly because of judgment.
Yeah.
Because of their positions in life.
Yeah.
Because of their community, and even family acceptance.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And stigmas around the lifestyle.
The
stigma around the lifestyle.
And that stigma would be what?
You're going to get AIDS. That dumb shit baby said.
I've had guys say that to me. Like as if if we were going to mess around, it was like they were just worried. It was worried. Like one guy, he had a condom. He checked, and I don't know what you can and can't say on here, but
you can say whatever you want.
He literally would look at the condom afterwards to be like, wait, like I want to make sure like it's no hole in it. Like
what?
They are like.
I wonder if he did that with a women.
No, like after we did, do what we did. Like you look at it, you make sure it didn't break. You didn't
because of the stigma of HIV.
Correct, and that's what I'm saying.
But people still get STDs though. STDs
from a rubber.
You still get it
from a rubber. From a rubber.
I'm just saying what he.
STDs.
But I think it's that stigma and it's what you think or whatever, and it's like so you just saying just because two men, there's several men who mess with other men who don't even have HIV or AIDS or whatever the case may be, and there's women who can get it and or whatever. It's just
so. Check this out. Robert Lavelle put this here. He said the gay guy is tired, and we putting it on everybody now.
He being funny.
All right,
he's trying to say we just tired of everything that's going on. So he said we just putting it on everybody.
So Marquella put this here, and if he hitting it from the back, per se, that man dressed in drag could feel like a woman to him. Mm-hmm. Okay, so that goes back to what we were saying before. And then she also put, like Latasha said, it could be insecurity. Okay?
Yeah.
So with this here, I would say in my closing, personally, I would say that as individuals, we have to get to the point where we stop worrying about what other people think about us.
And I think that's what it is. I think at the end of the day, that's what it is.
But I'm going to say this, the truth, honest to God truth, to anybody who's watching this, is easier said than done.
Correct.
It's very easier because had I not started hanging with these two sinners, I'd
still be at church.
I'll probably be like, yo, he said a cuss word. I'm going to pray for her after this show. So I had to regress a whole lot of stuff to say, just be yourself. Because of the perception of somebody who's sleeping with half of the men over here and half of the people in the community, then come back and judge you.
Yeah.
People hang out your dirty laundry and keep theirs in the backyard. So it's a process, and I'm going to tell you right now, you have to work at it. Okay. If you're going to ever get to a point of not worrying about what other people have to say about you.
So what I want to say is I think it starts with the parents. And what they put on their children.
That's a good
one. So
one.
while we're bringing up these little boys and girls,
yes,
you let them know from the gate it's okay to be yourself, baby.
Yep. Well, and this one is kind of maybe a little bit off topic, but this is something that I have a problem with, low key, that we are seeing gay people on shows, TV shows, movies, or whatever, and I'm hearing a lot of straight people, you have a problem with it. I don't want my kids to watch it. I don't want my kids to see it or whatever. But do you remember as seeing, in no disrespect at all, when you always seen white people on TV, white people in the movies, us as the little black boy or us as a little Asian boy or whatever, we wanted to be on TV. We wanted to be represented on TV. We wanted to see our black faces on there. Like we wanted to see our grandmas or whatever on TV. We wanted to be that Hispanic and we wanted to be on TV. So what makes it difference when you any difference when you see that gay boy or that gay man who feel like I want to be represented on TV? Why? Because it's reality. It's true.
It's true. But this is the problem. Parents now are really leaving it up for technology to raise our children.
True.
Yeah.
I can agree with that one.
So what it is before is one of these things. I totally agree with you.
Yeah.
Because it was everything when I seen a dark-skinned black woman on TV.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I seen someone looking like me.
Yeah.
So it's going to be everything for these children to see images of them where someone's comfortable in who they are. You don't know this. I'm sorry. I have a nephew. We knew my nephew was gay from the time he came out. We did because we could tell.
Everybody
we just
in the
could
community
tell.
Be knowing. That's
you know
what
I'm saying?
Killing me.
It wasn't a shock to anyone but his mother. Okay, so
she didn't want to accept it.
She didn't want to accept it. But the reality is, imagine if he grew up seeing himself on TV.
Right.
How many battlefield wounds he could have avoided.
Yeah.
Just by being comfortable, letting it be known it's okay to be you.
Can I interject this really quick? But like you said earlier about the family, because Will brought this up earlier about his grandma and his father. A lot of our parents would not accept us for being ourselves. And I've seen a lot of other cultures where you're like, wow, how are you able to be yourself? And it's like, this is who I am.
But that's why you have so many gay families. That's how the family where they create their own families. Yes. You have the mothers, the fathers. You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
That's where that comes from. You don't know about.
They have their own soul.
Like a mafia? What the?
Like
they have their own just
Will being a 41. Will being 41. So
42.
How many kids do you have, Will?
I have 2.
Wait.
Really 3.
So what it is younger gay people who would look for mentors.
He a mentor.
Yes.
Oh. And that's kind of what you would say in like you were, but yeah, like with us is like the gay mother, the gay father.
Right.
You know,
that's crazy.
And it's like,
so y'all just educated me on something new. It's not that I'm closed-minded to it or whatever. Right. I'm not intertwined. I'm just not intertwined with it. But no judgment on that. And that just educated something because I heard that terminology.
But you didn't know what it meant.
I had no. I'm like, when did you have kids?
Well, and a lot of maybe more so women, maybe not necessarily men, watch this show called Pose. When I tell y'all, if y'all you really, really watch it, it really opens your eyes in regards to gay. They had this last season where they touched on stuff with the church. They touched on the mom kicking them out, and then they decided to start at their own house or whatever because their mom or their father or whoever like disowned them to where they became homeless. And then we frown on some of these people, but they were forced to grow up on their own. Not saying that other people didn't, where they got kicked out of the home, but as far as gay people, you got kicked out. So a lot of them got kicked out. So it's like they were forced to do certain things.
I've heard about that situation a whole lot.
It
where
happens.
a lot of young boys got kicked out like 14 and stuff like that, and because the stepdaddy came around or some craziness like that. But somebody put this that said a lot of the parents are ashamed of their children. Mm-hmm. That I struggle with that idea that Robert had posted that a lot of the parents are ashamed of their children. I'm going to tell you right now, for a lot of parents, your child is your child.
Yeah.
And the world will never love your child the way you do. At the end of the day, your child is looking for your acceptance, your approval, for you to love them for who they are. And we cannot be a part of the rest of the world to put them in a box.
Right.
Okay. Even the church, because the church did it to my sister, and they bashed her a whole lot, and there was no defense for her just being like, I am who I am. They get up preaching the messages and all this. And I kind of look back on it and say, well, I think she was kind of interested too. Oh, that makes a whole lot of sense why she still live with her mama and she ain't never moved out.
Rhonda,
and she ain't got no kids and never been married.
Do you have a closing statement?
Be yourselves when you're around me because I will figure it out.
He gonna take it back to 89. So,
right.
Be yourselves now. Be yourselves. I don't mind. I don't mind, honey child. I don't mind. Come on over. You can cook for me, homie. You can cook for me. You can even wash some clothes. I do not care.
That's total acceptance right there.
Yeah, if you like what you do,
cool. That's dope.
Yeah, come on over. Watch some TV with me or stuff.
Man,
you're gonna know the runster.
So look, I want to thank everybody. We want to thank everybody for tuning in.
Thank you, Will.
Yeah, thank our guest Will for actually coming on right now. Everybody, this is No Feelings, Just Facts, and we working on with Tosha to not getting her feelings and Ron not getting his feelings, and me, I ain't got no feelings. I'm just we got a joke. We know we got a joke. We once again we thank everybody for actually tuning in. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all. So we see y'all again on Saturday live here, but you can tune in on Facebook Live as well. We love you. We appreciate y'all. Thank you.
I gotta go get them hard gizzards, cold chicken wings.
Oh my God, this nigga's stupid.